Hello everyone, and welcome to the second annual Talks a Lot Boys Thanksgiving Special. I'm your host, my name is Tyler, and as always, I am joined by the boys. We've got Brennan.
What's going on, folks?
And we've got Kyle.
Hello, my thankful friends.
Cool. So Thanksgiving's happening, and we're here, and we're happy about it. And last year we did a fun little thing where we ranked all of the Thanksgiving foods to determine what is the best Thanksgiving food of all time, objectively. Now, obviously, we're not going to do that 2 years in a row because that'd be dumb and boring. So instead, what else is Thanksgiving known for? Kyle, I'm gonna let you answer.
Is that big ol' heckin' parade, buddy boy?
Yes, it is the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and that's been going on for a few years now. It's kind of a tradition at this point. And what is in the parade? I mean, other than floats, because we're not talking about floats today, it's balloons of some fun, iconic characters. So today, we are going to rank the 10 best balloons from the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. What we did for this was, because we can't just pick random balloons that we like, that would kind of throw a lot of subjectivity into this. So we didn't do that. What I did, I painstakingly went through tons of wiki pages and pulled one representative from each parade for the last 10 parades. And each entrant, it had to be their first year at the parade, which is why we have some options on here that suck. 2020 didn't give us a lot to work with, surprisingly.
No.
But so we have reps from 2020 through 2011. We are going to rank them all objectively. And now we can't just base these off of like, oh, I like this character more than the other characters. That's stupid. That has nothing to do with Thanksgiving. We are going to rank these in the way that we should rank these. Who embodies the spirit of Thanksgiving the most? And I know those of you at home probably already know the 4 pillars that compose the spirit of Thanksgiving, but in case you don't, I will go over it again. Number 1 is thanks. Number 2 is giving. Number 3 is family time. And number 4 is eating so much food that you go into a coma. Those are the 4 pillars that make up the core of the Thanksgiving spirit. And in my opinion, to be in a Thanksgiving parade, you have to embody those traits really well. And I think we're going to find out that some of these options really, really do, and some of these options have no place being in this parade, and they should just be completely taken out moving forward. I'm going to send this directly to Macy herself and just fucking get them out of here. I don't want to see them in the 2021 parade. Gentlemen, are you ready to begin this power ranking of epic proportions?
I absolutely am, dude. I am so excited that we're doing this, and we're also giving ourselves rules because I probably would have gone crazy if we just did all of the balloons. That's a lot of balloons.
That's a lot of balloons. That might have been a long episode. People already complain that our stuff is too long, so they would have had a rough time with that.
Absolutely. Why don't you give us the nominees?
I will.
For balloons.
I sure will. And those of you watching the YouTube version will get a special little treat of the pictures of each of these balloons popping up on screen as I say them, just as a little incentive. So if you're listening to the audio version, why don't you just pause that right now, head on over to youtube.com/thetalksalotboys and click on this instead and come right back to this exact moment right here. And now you get to see some fun pictures while I list this stuff off.
Wow.
Cool. So,
hell yeah.
Here are our 10 representatives. Our 2020 rep is Boss Baby. 2020 really did not offer many options. I did not want to pick that. But here he is. This.
You didn't start from like the really interesting 2011. You started from 2020. Mm-hmm. The Boss Baby.
We're starting. We got to start with the most recent, the most fresh in our heads. 2019, Smokey Bear. I don't know how he hadn't been in it until 2019, but he made it eventually, I guess. 2018 is Goku, specifically Goku Super Saiyan Blue from Dragon Ball Super. The worst Dragon Ball. 2017, our rep is Olaf, because of course it is. 2016, Charlie Brown and his kite. There are a lot of Charlie Brown themed balloons throughout the years. This was the only year that there wasn't really anything else interesting to compete with a Charlie Brown balloon. So he's taken the 2016 spot. 2015 is Ronald McDonald, King of America himself. 2014, Thomas the Tank Engine, our Mimi Creamy Lord of Trains. 2013, SpongeBob Squarepants, which I really figured would have appeared prior to 2013, but apparently that's not the case.
Well, he did. That's the second version.
Oh. I didn't do enough research.
I was literally about to say that somebody in the comments is probably going to be like, actually, Goku showed up in the 1997 parade in his first film, or something like that. Like, we were going to get
something wild.
So we already have it in the comments below. I put somehow too much effort into this and simultaneously not enough.
Oh, no.
2012, our rep is Papa Smurf, which I feel like is the movie version, but I don't know because I didn't actually look up the picture when I wrote this down.
So you tell us what you just saw in the video.
Yeah, tell us what you just... I'm actually going to Google it right now just so I know what I'm working with.
It's also
Papa Smurf balloon.
Very prepared for this episode.
2012. Oh yeah, no, that's classic Papa Smurf. I dig it.
Epic.
All right.
I like that even more.
Cool. We'll just edit that to make it seem like I knew what it was. It was It's the classic version, not the movie version, obviously. If you thought it was the movie version, you're a fucking idiot. And then 2011, our good boy Sonic the Hedgehog.
Damn, gotta go fast.
Is our rep. So that's everyone. That's everyone on the list. Now, where do we even begin?
I tell you where exactly we begin.
Okay.
There's an obvious bottom contender here.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Do you?
Oh boy.
Might
Boss
surprise
Baby,
you.
right? Boss Baby.
No, it can't be Boss Baby. What are you
How
talking
can it not
about?
be Boss Baby?
Well, because when you look back at the 4 pillars of Thanksgiving, you've got Thanksgiving, family time, and eating so much food that you go into a coma. And what do babies do? Eat so much food that they go into a coma, literally
but not the Boss
every day.
Baby.
Yes, he does.
The Boss Baby is just Alec Baldwin poorly CG'd into a baby form.
What do you mean poorly? I don't think it's that bad.
The animation
is bad.
The animation is fucking trash in that movie, which is why I always refuse to watch it.
I watched it. I watched the
movie's
first one.
Oscar nominated. I will never get over that. That movie looks like ass for the year. Like, we had Toy Story 3 and 4 by that point, I think.
We definitely had 3.
We had 4? A lot of really good-looking animated movies.
This isn't talking about the animated movie of the year in whatever 2018, 2019, whatever. All right, this is, or I guess maybe 2020 because that was when the Boss Baby balloon was introduced. Who knows? But my contender for the bottom spot has to be Smokey Bear.
What?
It's got to be Smokey Bear.
Explain yourself.
The only pillar that Smokey Bear takes part in is the thanks, because he goes, thanks for not setting my forest on fire.
That's not true, Kyle.
What do you mean?
Mean? Yes, thanks. He thanks us for doing that, and we thank him for educating us. He gives us the knowledge on how to prevent forest fires, Kyle.
Okay.
That's his whole fucking job.
I see what you're saying.
He's giving out knowledge. And then family time, all those commercials, he's always gathering the kids. Kids are part of a family, and then they kind of form a family of bear friends, and then they're in the woods, and then eating so much you go into a coma. That's literally what bears do. They hibernate in the winter.
But wait a minute.
But wait a minute.
But that's not what Smokey Bear does. Smokey Bear respects the families that are in the park. He's like letting them do their thing. You know who does eat all the food they go into a coma? Yogi Bear, his arch nemesis.
Yes, but are they really arch nemesis?
Obviously, duh. One of them is stealing picnic baskets, and the other is protecting them. Obviously, they must be at odds.
You know, you're probably right.
It's going to
be the next big like multiverse crossover film, but as a bear himself, he has to eat a ton of food to go into a coma for the winter. If he is a real bear.
I guess you're right. I got a little too caught up in the Yogi Bear duel, all right? And who doesn't, really? Who really doesn't?
Yeah, I guess that's fair. When has Yogi Bear been relevant, like, for the last, like, 20 years.
When talked about pitted against our sweet Smokey Bear, obviously. But
Sure.
You have sold me that he shouldn't be the bottom. I didn't
I-
think quite too deep about it. I think you're right. You've definitely pushed me on at least the giving and the family time. I was already kind of like, all right, he kind of feels the family time one, but you really giving that imagery has sold me on the Bear family gathering kids together, whatever. But it's the giving one that I didn't really think fully about that you got me on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think he does.
yeah.
He sufficiently fills three pillars rather of the four. I think to
Yes.
me.
I feel that he fills 4, but in either case, he's definitely not the bottom because
Fair.
I feel like there have to be some of these guys who at least don't check half the boxes, if not
Okay.
all of them.
All right.
Now I have not prepared a lot for this, so I haven't given a lot of these much thought. But I think Boss Baby should default to the bottom because A, it's the fucking Boss Baby. Nobody wants this to be in the parade in general. I know it's a subjective thing, but it's also an objective thing because like nobody likes the Boss Baby. Name one person who enjoys the Boss. If you're one person who enjoys the Boss Baby, comment below.
Probably
And
children.
then- What?
Exactly. He
Probably
said, but
children,
children. And you know what? Parents take their children to the movies to watch a family time movie. And what
That
is that?
doesn't mean they enjoy
They
it.
watch
That doesn't
Boss
mean
Baby.
they enjoy
but
it,
wait,
though.
does enjoying family time the pillar? No, it's family time.
I guess
no
you're-
one really
no, you
loves
got me
seeing
there.
the in-laws. You go and see them anyway.
You really got me there.
So,
But
even
that's-
though you might not enjoy it, the parents are making up some really great family time by going and seeing the Boss Baby. You know what else you do at the movie theater? You gorge on a lot of food. Is it really expensive?
If you're
Sure.
rich.
But sure, they're rich family time, and they're gorging on food. They're eating a lot of food, and that's 2 pillars at least. You know,
God damn it. I can't argue with that.
that's
Even though
what I'm
I
saying.
want to.
That's what I'm saying. I
But
totally
also,
see
you
where
can't
you're
check
coming from.
thanks
Personally.
because nobody is thanking anybody for the creation of the Boss Baby.
The award
That
shows
box
are,
will be
apparently.
unchecked.
People at the top decide who gets nominated for things, apparently are thankful for it.
I don't know if they are. I don't know if they understand animation, but that's a conversation for another time.
Who knows?
So I would say, sure, you can
Okay.
argue that the Boss Baby might check 2 or 3 boxes.
Now here's the thing. Here's my question back to you, because I do see your points that you make about it as well. I have countered a couple, but is it enough that it still isn't the bottom? I don't know. Is there something else that has like even less pillars
I don't
that
know.
it
Brennan.
reaches?
You looked like you were about to say something. Where are you at? Where's your mind at? What are you thinking?
Well, as far as Boss Baby goes, I feel like it only really checks 1 pillar. And of course, that is the family time. Kyle had an excellent argument for that. As far as eating so much you go into a coma, I mean, babies, technically, kind of, maybe. But, I mean, as far as thanks, no. I dislike this movie so much that where I give no thanks.
You know what?
And then as far as giving, I mean, it gave us, I mean, the fact that this movie's giving an Oscar nod is a disgrace. So,
Yeah. The only thing it's giving us is a bad time.
yeah.
You know what you did for me in that time, Brennan? Gave me time to think of even more arguments for the Boss Baby to be great.
Jesus
and
Christ.
that is that whenever the parents go to the movie theater to see Boss Baby, they're very thankful because they don't have to really take care of their kids in that time. They're
They're
distracted.
not thankful,
They
Kyle,
don't-
because
Yes,
they have to
are.
sit through the fucking Boss Baby.
The parents
They
play on their
paid
phones, dude. Who
$80
knows?
to sit to watch the Boss Baby. They had to
But that's
drive
fine.
all the way to the
They
theater.
don't care how bad that
There's
movie
no
is.
thanks being
They
given from the
care
parents in this
They're
scenario.
very thankful that they were able to spend their night semi-peacefully because their children weren't running around punching them and throwing the cat out the window.
No, because
All
they
right?
could have gone and seen any other animated movie that came out at that time, and they would have been more thankful.
But did they?
It was a waste of a trip.
But did
No,
they?
and that's why they're
Exactly.
not thankful.
But they
They're
are
in
thankful.
deep regret for the rest of their lives
Oh
that
my
they
God, I can't-
fucking
Uh,
spent
Boss
money
Baby was
in
hard
a whole
on.
day. kids
I'm putting my
watching the
vote for
Boss
Boss
Baby.
Baby at the bottom
Wow.
because
Kyle, can you think of anybody else that does not check any boxes? Because maybe Boss Baby isn't going to be the bottom, but he's certainly not going to be the top. He's got to be in the conversation for the bottom.
if he's not
half.
last, he's second to last. But
you know
who goes
who-
beneath him?
You know who I'm thinking about now that I'm looking things?
Who are you thinking
Other
about,
than Smokey Bear. I do think Smokey Bear is in the lower half. Now that I look at the list especially, and we're kind of talking about, like, even if they fill, like, 2 or 3 pillars, some of them fill all 4 really well. So maybe ones that fill 2 or 3 do need to be this low. But starting to lean a little bit towards Thomas the Tank Engine, if I'm being honest with you.
Okay. Let's think about this.
Yeah. You know what immediately stands out to me? Thomas the Tank Engine can't eat. That is one pillar immediately eliminated. That's one down.
Yes.
You're not wrong.
I mean, if we're being honest, where in Thomas the Tank Engine do we talk about eating?
Checks that
box.
I
mean, technically, doesn't he consume coal? But
yeah,
he
but
does.
It's eating. The pillar is specifically worded because this is exactly how the pillars are worded this way in a specific reason. Eating so much food that you go into a coma. Can a train go into a coma?
While coal in a train actually activates it and gets it started up and going.
Yeah,
so that's the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Giving it too much coal would in fact make it go more, not make it stop moving.
not dropping immediately into comatose after your dinner.
Exactly.
But I think he probably checks the other 3, though. Thanks.
Does he,
Everyone's
though?
thanking Thomas for doing a good job. I'm pretty sure it's in the theme song.
Yeah, Sir Topham Hat. He's
Sir
always
Topham
telling him,
Hat's
carry
always
on, dude. You're
thanking him,
doing great. Boom.
That is fair.
He is giving the children of the world an amazing show to watch every Saturday morning.
Yeah, like I'm always thinking of Percy and Henry, and then even his arch nemesis Diesel. Like they're all.
The fact that you know all of their names.
Dude, I was immersed in Thomas the Tank Engine as a kid. Trust me.
I did too. Oh my
Thomas
gosh.
has always given Percy a hard time. Am I right?
Wow,
That's part of being a family.
You really sold me with that one sentence. I don't think Thomas should be the bottom anymore.
No,
I really,
no.
you know what? Because like it was giving where I was kind of like a little about where I was considered because like I knew the food one is an absolute no. Obviously, anyone could tell you that. But we're giving where I was doubting, and then you said the sentence, man, Thomas is really giving Percy a hard time, isn't he? And I think you sold me. Maybe Boss Baby should be the bottom. I would like to push Thomas being next to last, though, because the fact that he just completely is the opposite of one of the pillars is pretty horrendous in my mind.
Yeah, but he checks the other 3, I believe.
Yeah.
He does.
Like,
well,
but,
okay.
Like,
are there any on here that check less than 3? Let's go with that. Boss Baby obviously is one of them.
Boss Baby is one in contention.
I would say Boss Baby only checks 1, so right now he is like defaulting to the bottom. Let's take a look at Olaf.
Arguable too.
Because I don't actually know how much Olaf brings to the table. He can't eat at all because he's made of snow.
Here we go. But
so immediately he's in the same boat as Thomas.
That
at
is
least
fair.
does not check food.
That is
But here's
fair,
the thing. I think he embodies the other 3 better than Thomas. Because it's a similar situation to Boss Baby, whereas like family time watching Frozen is a great time. Also, in the movie, Olaf is all about family and like loving, like being close to the others. He's always giving hugs.
Yeah, I mean you're not.
That's the big one for me.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And he's always extremely thankful for like being created by Elsa, being thankful for being with his friends that are on this journey with him. He sings songs about it, literally sings songs about it. I think he embodies the other 3 so intensely. The fact that he can't technically eat, it's not that he's the opposite like Thomas. He just can't eat. So he's more of like a null and void on that rather than the opposite to me.
I guess I would say that I think you're right. I think Olaf should at least be over Thomas and
Boss Baby.
Mm-hmm. I
think he should be over Smokey Bear too, if I'm being honest.
I don't think
really?
he should be over Smokey Bear.
Do you really not?
No. Smokey Bear checks all 4 boxes. Smokey Bear checks all 4 boxes. Olaf checks 3. By default, he cannot be above Smokey Bear.
But he checks those 3 so much better than Smokey.
Yeah, but he doesn't check 1. If he's supposed to be the embodiment of the Thanksgiving spirit, and he is not even capable of one of the pillars of the Thanksgiving spirit.
All right, it's time. We gotta dig deep here. Hang on.
Gotta dig deep here.
Can Olaf eat? We gotta know.
You're asking the hard-hitting questions now.
Not only do the shorts show Olaf eating and drinking, but they also hint that Olaf is capable of producing snowballs. even without their being
like as
so
poop?
present.
Is that what that's implying?
And the frozen theory that I'm looking at, which is the top
Frozen
thing
theory.
in Can Olaf eat, is does Olaf poop snowballs? And
Hold on. I gotta phone a friend. My girlfriend is obsessed with Olaf. She will know the answer to this.
Okay.
I gotta call her up.
This is huge.
I didn't realize you have lifelines in this. This is hilarious.
Okay, wait. Oh, apparently there are multiple occasions where Olaf is seen eating and drinking.
See, I don't believe it, but
she's
not gonna pick up.
She probably knows.
Come
on. He's trying to rope me into some bullshit.
Fine.
Like,
Well,
Okay, wait.
I'll take your word for it. If it says that he can eat,
Yep, wait, I've got it. I've literally got the proof. You're gonna have to put it in the episode. You already put images in, so it's not that big of a deal. There it is. There's the proof that's all the proof you could ever need. There's a picture of him eating cake.
You're right.
There's a picture
Damn.
he can eat.
You're right.
And
but
it looks like he's eating a lot
so
there.
much that he went into a coma.
But here's my point, is that he can eat a lot of food, obviously. But the whole thing against Smokey Bear was that because he is completely out of Olaf is completely out of one pillar. I'm going to close this window. I can't even see you guys. I'm so thrown off. I never use Google in the middle of these episodes. I was like, whoa, I got to reset up. The fact that Olaf can eat thus opens the pillar up. Is he the best at eating enough to go into a coma? No, he's a snowman, but he can eat, thus giving him representation in the pillar.
Sure.
The other three, he excels in.
But Smokey...
Does he not?
Still stands above him because Olaf can eat, is capable of eating. Smokey Bear literally eats for the sole purpose of going into a coma to survive the winter because he's a bear.
That is a fair point. I respect your argument, and I think you are true. However, I still think that even while Smokey Bear beats Olaf in one pillar, the other three Olaf represents better.
Brennan,
and thus
break this
3-1.
Obviously, neither of these are going to be at the bottom, but I need you to fucking settle this argument right now, so we know the pecking order moving forward.
And here I thought Yogi Bear was Smokey Bear's. It's Olaf.
I'm gonna have to decide for Olaf here. Because
smart man.
Smokey Bear does absolutely smoke Olaf in one category, but Olaf smokes Smokey Bear in the other three.
How?
What do you mean?
No. How is giving out hugs more beneficial than giving out the knowledge of preventing forest fires? One saves lives, the other just makes a cartoon snowman get a weird.
Well, do forest fires still happen or no?
Lives are being saved.
That is fair. That is fair. Forest fires still happen, even though he's giving out the knowledge. So obviously, it's not.
Obviously, we were just like, "Fuck you, Smokey Bear! I'm gonna live my life.
He's trying. I'm
gonna burn one in the woods. Fuck nature. Like,
yeah, he's trying and not succeeding at giving information. Olaf is succeeding at giving hugs.
But then you have Frozen, which is arguably one of the biggest commercial successes of an animated film. And everyone and their mother knows Olaf, and everyone and their mother likes Olaf.
And everyone in their family knows Olaf too.
Exactly. Like
good one.
Like there's always like families always get together at Christmas time. They watch Frozen. They watch all the bullshit. They hang out with Olaf. While Smokey Bear, like that, and like his like duties are only really effective at like certain parts of the year. Like, and then even then, like the fact that. Which Olaf, I just said that Olaf's only really relevant at Christmas, but
doesn't Frozen take place in July?
Yeah,
is it really a Christmas movie?
Well, here's the thing.
It doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of snow. Well,
so Frozen's kind. I can see why people would peg it as a Christmas movie, but like it is very much just like a snowy themed movie.
Yeah, it's
not
the
Frozen aspect.
It's not like
also,
Santa Claus
Olaf
shows up,
survives year round because of the magic of Elsa giving him the snow cloud above him, and Smokey Bear's asleep half the fucking year.
Because he eats so much food. Whatever. I lost the fight. I've been outvoted. I'm not going to dwell on it.
I can see you're passionate about this, and I appreciate that.
In the comments below, I think Smokey Bear embodies Thanksgiving a little more than Olaf, but I digress. Neither of them are going to be the top anyway, so it's fine.
Yes, that's fine. That's fine.
Are we going to lock in Boss? We're going to lock in Boss Baby at the bottom because we're
that's fine.
Agreed.
I'm
Thompson's
fine
Tank
with...
Engine is probably going to be there
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Next to bottom, unless there is another option we haven't talked about yet that we don't think fills.
What's your guys' opinions on Sonic?
Here's the thing. Well, Kyle, I know you're the Sonic boy, so I know you probably have a ton to say about him. I know Sonic eats chili dogs. I don't know if he eats enough to go into a coma, because I don't think he sleeps because he always has to go fast. Because, like, in the same vein that... Does he, though?
Yeah, he does.
But sleeping is slow. And that's, like, the antithesis of Sonic, is that, like, he has to go... He's the fastest thing alive. He's always gotta go fast.
But, like,
sleeping isn't even slow. It stopped.
Yeah.
Sega and the creators of Sonic also want to make him likable and relatable, and not everyone can run forever. Or else, if little children will look up to Sonic and be like, I can run forever, always gotta go fast. It's not always gotta go fast. It's just gotta go fast. And if Sonic just ran for an eon, kids would be like, I'm gonna run until I pass out. And they'd fall over and die. And that's not good for marketing. So
I feel
obviously
like most kids who play Sonic games don't run a lot in general.
Are you attacking me? Because if you are, you're right. But that hurts
Sonic
still.
games doesn't take a whole lot of physical energy or mental fortitude to get through the atrocious experiences. But, like, I don't know.
Okay, we're not here to talk about the quality of Sonic games. We're talking about the Sonic balloon and its ability to
I don't know if he... Because he eats chili dogs to get, like, to go fast, right? Like, to fill his tum-tum, to get gas to move.
Enjoy them. There's no association to the chili dogs and his speed. Not everything about this character has to be about how fast he goes.
That's the whole that's the whole point of Sonic.
It's just his, like, tagline. And obviously he goes fast a lot of the time, but he doesn't always go fast. He also sleeps.
Yeah, sometimes he doesn't go fast. Sometimes he is A, dead, or B, slowly drowning underwater and going slowly because of the physics. 3, impatiently tapping his foot at you and giving you the face because you set the controller down to go get an Oreo, and he's pissed because he's not going fast. Those are the only modes that Sonic goes in.
You're creating, like, this specific bubble to help fight your fight. There are, like, so many instances where he's, like, chilling on the couch, talking to Tails, and, like, Sonic X, and, like, the Sonic Boom show, which I've never seen, but I'm sure it happens. Like,
I guess that's just lazy writing, then. Or he just
no,
isn't man enough to stick to his code.
Writing?
I guess Sonic's just a fucking liar. Gotta go fast. Not all the time, though. I don't know.
What is this argument you're creating out of, like, just making up points?
I'm not making up points. Everything I have said is a fact. Everything I have said about Sonic is a fact.
But you're making it that, like, he's locked into going fast 24/7, and that's not the case.
I'm not saying he's always going fast. I already stated the forms in which he is not going fast.
But those are the only times he's not going... Okay, hang on. This isn't a podcast to argue just about Sonic. I'm gonna go off on you if you, like, keep making a really dumb argument about Sonic.
I'm not saying he can't go slow. He does go slow. I'm just saying that when he does go slow, it goes against his character arc.
Okay. So back to the pillars, right? Even though it could be against his writing, it's still the truth about what Sonic does, right? It is still what he does.
Sure.
The Sonic X exists, the shows exist, the fucking games exist, the comics exist, and that's where I'm going to, right? So the first with, like, Sally Acorn and everything, and, like, whenever his, like, he has, like, this really emotional scene where his dad gets turned into a Botnik, and it's like this tear-jerking family moment, and he obviously really cherishes that family time with his father. He also has a complete show where he spends time making music with his brother and sister, which is family time. He's spending family time that entire series, and that series is quite good. Sonic Underground, check it out if you haven't. I love that show as a kid. So that immediately locks, like, the family time, it's there. He constantly is caring for the animals by saving them because they're like family to him. He's giving them freedom by saving them from Robotnik constantly.
Okay.
he's eating so much food all the time, and he does sleep very often. It happens a lot. In fact, there is one whole episode of Sonic X, like one of the first episodes of Sonic X. It starts and he's sleeping on the hood of a car because he ran up in front of the car, lays on it, he's just like, oh, geez, you're still going. Wow, I didn't realize how slow you were. And he's like sleeping because he sleeps. Tyler, he sleeps. Sonic sleeps.
Well, Sonic isn't cool then. Sleeping is slow, and he shouldn't do it.
I don't care if you don't think he's cool. I don't care if you don't think Sonic is cool. He's way past cool, and he embodies the 4 pillars of Thanksgiving super well. The thanks pillar that we haven't even talked about, that like everyone is thankful that Sonic exists. He's a great mascot.
I would say everyone.
A lot of people are. A large majority of the people have a very deep connection to Sonic, even if they don't necessarily like it. Like Aaron Hansen, Egoraptor, for example. Does he dislike the games because they're not very good? Yeah, but he loves the universe. He's thankful for that. So many people are thankful for that. They show that on Twitter. They show that through just the fact that he's a collab in so many games. He just recently was in a collab with the new Monster Hunter game. Because people are like thankful for Sonic to exist, that they want to see him in other games that they also love. It's just he's there for all 4 pillars. He really is.
Brandon?
Am I wrong?
Poke some holes in that argument because I can't.
Yeah.
I don't really think I could much either. I guess my only thing is like, as far as the one pillar that I don't really think that he fills out is definitely eating so much you go into a coma, because it's more of like his extreme activity leading to, his slumber. Right. But
I can see that. I can see that that's not his strongest pillar for sure. Like he fills it, but slightly. Whereas fair. I think the other 3 he really does excel in, which is why I think he should be higher up. I don't think he's not the top. There's a couple that like really fill all 4 to me, but I don't think he's like the top at all. But I think he's ahead of these people we're talking about right now.
I think he would have to be under Smokey Bear, and by proxy under Olaf, because he does not check the eating so much food you go into a coma as well as those 2.
I could see that.
I don't know.
Anyway, I'm gonna throw out another completely different option to get away from Sonic for a second. Goku's a fucking terrible dad, and he should be near the bottom.
That's a good point.
Because while Goku does eat a lot of food and sleeps sometimes, and he gives the world safety because he is the most overpowered shit in the world, and people thank him for that sometimes, family time is a big heckin' no. He is the shittiest dad in fiction, probably. He has 2 children. He has 2 sons and a wife that he spends no fucking time with. He just fucks off to go train. The only time he does spend with his sons is when he is trying to force them to fight with him, and usually getting them killed, like throwing Gohan in against Cell and almost having him get murdered as like a 15-year-old. I'm just saying, you can't really be the embodiment of Thanksgiving if you are just that horrendous with your family.
That is fair. I tell you what, I was fully prepared to spin you a tale about why I thought Goku was like good, and it's because of the eating so much food that you go into a coma. Because sure, Goku eats a lot, whatever. But then I had this whole thing prepared where I was going to tell you about what are all the characters based off of? Food. You know what? Don't you love on Thanksgiving? Open up the thing. You gotta see the food on the table. All of that is named after characters that are around Goku that he loves to be with. Blah blah. It doesn't matter anymore because honestly, the fact that he's like the worst dad in fiction is pretty terrible. That is like a very important fact that I really didn't consider. I'm actually totally fine with putting him next, if I'm being honest with you, because that's a horrendous thing to be the opposite in. Yeah. Especially in there on Thanksgiving. So
I would say I would be down with putting him under Olaf, Smokey, and Sonic. Do we also want to put him under Thomas? Because Thomas does not check the food box, but Goku does not check the family box.
Yeah, they are kind of the antithesis of both of those, each one on one pillar. Now, here's my question to pose to you. Does one do the other 3 that they do fill stronger than the other one of their three? Like, which one do you think is like the stronger contender in that, in their three pillars?
Well, I guess I would say giving would probably be the best one. So, like, what does Thomas give? Speedy deliveries. I
mean, is it even? He's a train.
Fun Saturday morning. Fast. I don't know, man. It's British. I don't know how they operate over there. I don't know. That's Thomas gives that. And merchandise and fun Saturday mornings for children. Goku gives a
terrible plot line.
Goku gives in recent years very poor writing and
anyway,
that's not his fault. That's the writer's fault. In his lore, Goku gives salvation to the world and other planets and universes and galaxies. He also gives Vegeta a hard time.
Wow, you kind of are selling me on Goku being ahead of Thomas here a little bit. I think that as much as like, because I feel like both of these things are like things that kids watched growing up a lot. Like they were both like that cartoon that they watched a lot. For me, it was Thomas more than Dragon Ball. I don't know if that's an unfortunately statement or not, but I digress. I think I'd like to see Thomas be ahead of him, but I think when we're thinking about this objectively with the pillars, I think Goku just does more in his three than Thomas does in his three. So I'm okay with Goku being above Thomas.
Yeah, and I second that. Thomas gives out little toots and puffs of smoke, and Goku gives out ass whoopings and energy blasts and hair and screams. Yeah. So that's there's a lot there.
That's fair.
Brendan, where are you at? I mean, you're outvoted regardless, but
yeah, I mean, I feel like Thomas kind of embodies like the spirit of Thanksgiving more as a whole, since like his show's a little more wholesome, and there were a lot of times I spent with my parents because of like going to like places where like there was like this little store like in downtown Charleroi, and like they had like all these like Thomas the Tank Engine like train assortments and shit like all around and stuff. And like I spent a lot of cool like Saturday and Sunday mornings with my dad or
cool
both
is
my
the
parents.
word you're using to describe those events.
Well, I mean, this is like, I mean, I'm like 5 or 6.
I know.
Like, come on, dude. But like, that's it. But like, that's what I mean. Like, just the whole family atmosphere. I feel like Thomas just dominates. But at the same time, like Goku's just arguably like the cooler character, and like does more.
Okay, wait. But you're bringing tears to my eyes here, talking about your sentimental family memories about Thomas here. All right.
Yeah.
Do you
like,
actually
I saw all
think
the movies,
Thomas?
Like even the one with Alec Baldwin, like
exactly. I did too, and I vividly remember sitting with my family watching those movies when I was younger. I also remember having a little Thomas track where I'd play with my trains with my dad and my mom. All right. Yeah. So, do you think Thomas embodies that spirit more, Brennan?
I'll tell you what.
Oh, he dunks on Goku.
When
like,
I was a kid,
aspect, but
I would watch Dragon Ball Z alone, and my dad would come in and see Yajirobe on screen and say, "Why is Goku fat?" And then I'd be like, "Well, clearly you haven't been watching the show because that's not the same character." So that's similar in a vein of like spending family time.
That's the opposite.
Like when I was in middle school, I was playing a Dragon Ball game on my PlayStation 2 with one of my friends, and I screamed "fuck" really loud, and my dad was downstairs and he yelled at me. So I'm just saying, there's a lot of parallels you can make between my scenarios and your scenarios.
That's not
what great
that's ridiculous,
bro. Family and Goku and your families and Thomas. So
I think I'm voting for Thomas.
I've never had my dad yell at me at something for something Thomas related.
Like, yes. Oh my God, Thomas is the higher. Oh my God, Thomas. Congratulations, Thomas. I think we're voting for Thomas to be ahead of Goku. That's
fine. Thomas needs to be ahead of Goku.
I'm not that invested. It's fine.
Start eating more though, Thomas, and like go to get into a coma or something. So that way
delivering stuff for Sir Topham Hatt is apparently better than saving the multiverse. That's okay.
But being a bad dad is pretty terrible.
Being a bad dad is pretty terrible.
Yeah,
I have a great dad though. So
let's lock in the bottom 3. Let's lock him in. Let's move on.
Yeah. Okay. So Boss Baby's 10. Goku is 9. Thomas the Tank Engine is 8.
That's pretty fair.
Yeah. So we have not talked about 4 of these guys left. Like we've talked about Sonic, we talked about Smokey Bear, we talked about Olaf. We have not touched Papa Smurf yet. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I am not very well versed in Smurf lore, but he's a Papa, so I'm gonna assume he's a family man.
He's the family man of all of the Smurfs.
Unless he like beats his wife or something, I don't know. Again, I'm not well versed, so
I'm gonna shut down that
gonna
theory.
Assume he's
but
more
like,
wholesome
we'll
than
move
that.
I guess I'm the resident Smurf guy, but no, he doesn't beat his wife.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Good
shut
to
down
know.
that theory real fast.
Yeah.
Since you're the Smurf guy,
not really,
does
but
he
I guess
eat
I know more than you.
so much food that he goes into a coma?
Does he eat a lot of food? He eats a lot of food. I don't know if he's ever like actually gone into a coma, but definitely eats a good bit of food. So,
Brennan, are you versed in the world of the Smurfs?
No, I just know that Papa Smurf doesn't commit domestic assault. And I mean, like, because the thing like Papa Smurf is like, the dude's like such a classic. Like, cause Smurfs, like the Smurfs been around forever,
Right.
Yeah, it seems like. So, you probably make the argument, like the family argument. I mean, he's definitely a family man in his own universe. Definitely brought families together to watch the Smurfs. As far as giving, I don't know the, philanthropic adventures that Papa Smurf has gone through, and or who he has gotten other people to do. Thanks, I don't really know. And then eating, apparently he eats a lot, but whatever.
Real strong arguments for Papa Smurf here. I think he might be coming up next just because we don't know.
That's an unfortunate. It's an unfortunate thing that we aren't as versed in Smurf lore as we should be, but so I feel like that's like pretty unfair for Papa Smurf.
Kind of.
Because if we're talking about it, right? Like, he's constantly thankful for like all of his first Smurf family. Like, that's very obvious because he like took care of them and they're thankful for him. And it's also like a beloved series that a lot of people are thankful for. So that box is pretty full. Like, we got that one pretty strong. The family time is a very, very strong one, obviously, as well. Just for what we've already said, like, he's like a family. He's literally a family man, like the opposite of Goku. If there's ever been a good comparison to make an opposite, it's Goku and Papa Smurf. Okay, but I think that where we're kind of questioning things is does he eat so much food that he does indeed go into a coma? We don't know he eats. He's capable of eating, thus giving the edge over some other people on this list. I don't think he like fully fills that pillar like he does with thanks and family time. And then giving, I guess he does give a lot to the Smurf people. He is like the head of the village, the head of their people. So I guess he does fill that pretty well as well.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Who fills out the food category better, Papa Smurf or Sonic?
I think Sonic, doesn't he? Because like Sonic is like constantly eating a lot of food versus Papa Smurf. Well, but I guess here, let me frame it differently. Which one is known for eating at all?
Again, I can't answer because I know very little about the Smurfs.
But I'm
gonna Google what does Papa Smurf eat.
Do it up. Thank you. We gotta do these. We gotta do the hard research here. This is really devolving into some serious conversation. I did not expect this from this, but I'm really glad we're here.
They love to eat sarsaparilla leaves, whose berries the Smurfs naturally call Smurf berries. The Smurf berries appear only in the cartoon. In the original comics, the Smurfs only eat the leaves from the sarsaparilla. Well,
see,
now
they're picky. Know. They only eat the leaves from the sarsaparilla.
That was only Sonic in the comic, Kyle.
Okay,
they
well,
eat
in
the
general,
Smurf berries in the cartoon, and that's the more popular version.
Okay, I guess that's true. But I'm guessing what I'm saying is overall, would the Smurfs be eating a lot, or are they being more careful about what they're eating? They can only eat like that one thing. Where Sonic is scarfing down these chili dogs. He doesn't care what's in them.
Let me hit you with this.
Oh my god.
The top result underneath the wiki description for what I just Googled is 60 minutes of Smurfs food compilation.
What?
That really paints a picture that they like to eat. If there are not one, but two 60-minute Smurf food compilations Oh, I'm sorry. The second one is just a Papa Smurf compilation. So they have 60 full minutes of Smurfs eating shit.
Is it Smurfs eating shit, or is it food themed off of Smurfs?
No, it is Smurfs eating stuff. It's the Smurfs official channel.
They have an official channel?
Yes. This is news to me, but it's
breaking news. This is wow. Okay. All right. Well, I guess that does equate to a lot of food eating. 60 minutes. That's a long time.
Yeah. I mean, they do live in mushrooms, which you can technically eat.
But they don't eat them. They live in them.
Well, we don't know that. We haven't watched every single episode of The Smurfs.
I can't imagine they eat what they live in, or else they wouldn't have a thing to live in.
I guess that's fair. Oh, look at this. They're roasting berries over a fire.
My point is that the Smurfs aren't known to eat a lot. You know, they're known to eat a berry or a leaf. Whereas Sonic fucking sucks down those chili dogs like it ain't nobody's business.
I'm gonna
he
Google
eats a lot of food.
60-minute Sonic eating chili dog compilation. If it comes up, then it'll win, and if it does not, then Papa Smurf will surpass it.
Okay, all right. Honestly, this seems really fair. This definitely seems like the way to go about this.
I hate that this is in my search history now.
I have some hope that this actually will show up.
The first result is Sonic eats a lemon and dies. So
what?
That's actually the top 2 results.
Sonic eats lemon and dies.
I mean, to your credit, Kyle, dying is the ultimate coma. So if he eats lemons and dies.
There you go. I don't know any details on Sonic eating lemons and dying. However, it seems like things are kind of tipping towards Sonic here. I'm just saying. Are we in agreement at all?
We'll give it to Sonic just for that. I don't know. I'm not going to watch it, but we're just going to assume that's canon.
I'm putting that in my watch later.
All right, so Papa Smurf is under Sonic.
Yeah.
And over Thomas. So we're going to lock him in at 7.
Thomas 8. Papa Smurf
Thomas 8,
7.
Papa Smurf 7. Yes.
I think Sonic can go 6. I think he can.
Okay.
Because I don't think... I mean, I think he could... Personally, I think he could beat out Smokey. Personally. But I think that... I feel like I'm probably outvoted here.
I would vote for Smokey in that scenario.
I would vote for Sonic. Yeah, you seem to be the Smokey guy, so I immediately was ready to put him at the bottom, so I'm obviously not the Smokey guy. But
Smokey Bear
think...
saved lives.
So is Sonic.
Sonic has made weird kids with no friends. Sonic invented furries.
I have you as a friend, okay? You don't need to do that. Brennan, we're torn here. I think these is where the next 2 are going to go, because I think Olaf is above them.
Yes.
For sure.
Although we still haven't talked about Charlie Brown and SpongeBob.
I think Charlie Brown, SpongeBob, and Ronald McDonald are above these 2 as well.
Okay.
I do. Pretty
agree.
solid. So I think the duel here is between Sonic the Hedgehog and Smokey Bear. Sentences that'll live on the internet forever, and I love.
All right. Brennan, who
what do you
wins?
think, Brennan? After everything we've talked about between these 2. Don't forget Smokey sleeps for a long time and isn't there to do things.
Which fills a category.
Which fills a category.
It does, but also is not able to give people family time because he's not there all the time. And he's not able to give those facts. He's not able to be thankful for anything because he's asleep in a coma. So just being in one pillar constantly and negating the other 3 equate to him being better?
Yes.
I don't know. It's up for you to decide, Brennan. I've said my piece.
Even though I dissed Smokey in favor of Olaf, I can't really diss him in favor of Sonic.
Damn.
Because I feel like Sonic really doesn't give or thank much other than like helping his buddies out from time to time. But
his literal whole point in the first Sonic game
Kyle,
is to save the creatures of the forest.
Yeah, no, Kyle,
similar to Smokey, he goes and risks his life.
Goes over Sonic. Sonic is locked in.
Sonic risks his life.
So does Smokey Bear. Firefighting's a dangerous job.
When have you seen him firefight?
When have
he doesn't
I not?
firefight. He tells you how to prevent them.
Yeah,
but even then, he doesn't do that good a
his
job.
Pants and his hat, and he's ready to fucking.
But he doesn't. He's just going out there talking. Sonic goes out of his way to go and fight Robotnik and save the creatures of the forest and save them from being robots forever.
Fires
He's
are
giving
real,
them
Kyle.
freedom.
Fires are real. Real people have been saved because of Smokey Bear.
I'm just saying, I think he fills the giving category very well.
That's great, but you lost, so we're moving on. We're locking Sonic
I see
in
this
at
doesn't
6.
sway Brendan at all. He doesn't seem phased.
No, he's not phased. We're moving on.
I'm
Sonic
not.
is locked in at 6. Smokey Bear's probably going to be at 5, unless we think that Charlie Brown and or SpongeBob could be under Smokey Bear.
You keep avoiding Ronald. What is your what's your thing here with Ronald, sir?
Because Ronald checks all the boxes, so he can't be next.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I'm just saying, like he's the obvious one that checks all the boxes, so
it's true. It's true. As much as I hate it. I don't like clowns, but
I don't like clowns either. I also don't like McDonald's food unless I'm like drunk.
But objectively.
But
we'll talk about him later.
We'll talk about him later. I want to talk about Charlie Brown next, actually.
Uh-oh.
Here's the thing. Nobody ever thanks Charlie Brown. That's kind of a shtick.
I mean, that's the resolution of most Charlie Brown things, is they end up thanking him.
It's the resolution of one Charlie Brown thing. And it's not even they thank him, they just apologize.
Don't they all literally go, "Thank you, Charlie Brown"? Don't they actually do that?
I don't think so.
I thought, but maybe I'm just making that up because we're talking about...
In my mind's eye, I just remember them being like, I'm sorry, Charlie Brown, that's not a shitty tree. Look, if we put this decoration on it, it becomes a real tree. And then it just morphs into like a perfect triangle. Like it just evolves into a tree. And then they start singing Christmas carols and the credits go by. That's what I remember. Charlie Brown Christmas. And I feel like his whole shtick is that nobody thanks him. And because he's always like a fuck up and people hate him. And then like giving, it's like what does Charlie Brown give kids other than mild depression from watching his sad life unfold in multiple specials?
But here's a counter argument to that, right? Teachers show the Charlie Brown special in school all the time, saving them from having to do more schoolwork right before the holidays. That gives them time to relax before they get the break off, and they're so damn thankful for that. I know I was. I know you were.
Yeah,
don't lie.
I guess, but like also the act of doing that could be filled by any of these other characters. Because like there is media of all of these that could theoretically be shown in a classroom environment to waste time, including Ronald McDonald.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, they do. It Super Size Me, but I don't know if they do anymore. Actually, whatever.
I was referencing the animated series from the 80s.
Oh my! I forgot that existed. That's why I defaulted to Super Size Me. But anyway, here's the other thing with Charlie Brown. Right? There's literally a Thanksgiving special with Charlie Brown in it. None of the other characters here have a Thanksgiving special, do they? Maybe SpongeBob does.
I don't know.
I don't think any of those
Thomas might, because he's like a kid's show. They usually have holiday shit.
Maybe. But not that we, like, not as popular, I guess, is my point here.
Yeah.
Is that, like the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special is huge, right? And, like...
But that doesn't factor into the 4 pillars of Thanksgiving. Directly.
I see that. But it also envelops, like, the holiday of Thanksgiving, which at least boosts it a good bit, right? Because, like, it literally is depicting events that you will be going through. Like, you see it, it's happening, you're like, oh boy, I'm going to be doing that soon. I'm going to be sitting around the table, I'm going to be eating that food, I'm going to eat that freaking popcorn necklace today. Ooh.
I was going to say, like, you're aware that in the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special, they don't actually have Thanksgiving dinner because he can't cook. That's, like, the whole plot line. They eat popcorn and pretzel sticks.
But then you see that and you're like, oh, damn, I'm going to go eat something I'm going to have a real meal. Oh, man, Charlie Brown, thank you. He said thanks.
I don't know.
I do think that the fact that he is a staple of the holiday in general gives him a lot of ground, which is why he hasn't come up yet.
Here's what I'm going to say.
I will say that much. But I do think he could be next.
Well, Brennan, you go ahead. What do you think about Charlie Brown?
Charlie Brown literally has a Thanksgiving special.
That doesn't factor in, though.
It does, because he literally embodies all 4 pillars.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Thanksgiving
Family time,
special.
you never see his family ever a single time in any special.
But the kids are his family, though.
They're not his family. They are his friends, and they're shitty friends because they shit on him all the time.
But that's part of friendship. All friendship groups shit on each other all the time.
The wording of the pillar does not specify.
Just like 2 big-headed kids with chronic depression moping around in the snow for 30 minutes.
Hang on.
People
they're
just
always
being
there for each other. Holy shit.
Do you
watch Charlie Brown?
Do you watch Sonic? Do you watch Charlie Brown?
I do watch Charlie Brown. Boring as hell.
The shit was more relevant back like the 60s, but still.
I'm just saying, the fact that you never even see his family makes me think that it doesn't check family time. Like, yes, families watch Charlie Brown, but in his universe, he does not spend any time with his family.
Let me say that. Okay. I see where we're going with this. I see we're kind of divided, especially between you two. I didn't realize it was going to be that heated between you two. I do think, I agree that the Thanksgiving special, the fact that Thanksgiving special does contain all of the components of the pillars. Even though they're not the strongest, it does contain them all. To the point where he is a face of Thanksgiving. He has had multiple balloons in the past, which hasn't been a factor that we've had talked about yet, but there are many iterations of him as well. Like the football, fucking kicking the football, all sorts of things. So I think there is a lot of weight to him being in the parade multiple times up until this point, as well as the fact that he is like a Thanksgiving like icon. So, what number are we at? That's my next question for you. How many have we?
We are at. Let me double check. Okay, 10 was Boss Baby, 9 was Goku, Thomas was 8, 7 was Papa Smurf, 6 is Sonic. So we're on 5.
5.
Unless we lock Smokey Bear in, but I guess we haven't done that yet.
I think he's more Thanksgiving than Smokey. I was gonna say I feel like 5 is a good place for Charlie Brown because right near the middle here because he is like a Thanksgiving icon. He hits all the pillars, but like it also he's not like the most interesting. I will say
he doesn't. Guys, you're completely ignoring the pillars here. You're just going on the fact that like Charlie Brown is like a symbol of Thanksgiving, whatever he has specials, whatever. But like eating so much food, you go into a coma. He has never done that. Family time, you literally never see his family. And then like Thanksgiving, you can make arguments for, but like those 2 pillars, he is not checking.
The family time thing the pillar does not specify immediate blood family. That is not what it specifies. Family doesn't have to be like your blood family.
Well,
it
then
can
by
be
that
like
logic,
your family.
Goku would embody family time also.
But he's also terrible at one part of his family, whereas, like he's like just terrible.
Charlie Brown has literally never seen his mother's face.
I mean, he has. We haven't. That's a good point. He has spent time with his family. He does spend a lot of time with his family. Even though we don't see it, that doesn't matter. That's like not even part of it.
You're just like guessing now. You're implying.
What do you mean?
That we have
I literally
never
watch him look like this at his mom, even though we don't see it. He's looking right at them. You see the legs.
It's implied, but we don't know. It could be a lie.
Jesus, Tyler, you're fucking ridiculous.
He hits the pillars more than Smokey does.
You guys are worried about the fact that he has a special. It's like, bro, Charlie Brown is synonymous with most like holidays out there, especially the ones that actually like matter.
Yes,
so
but that has nothing to do with this ranking.
It does, because if he literally has an episode where he fully encompasses all of the pillars that we have. I mean, maybe he doesn't eat himself into a coma, but he does eat a lot of food. And then throughout the show, you see him touch on other pillars like all the time. Like, yeah, they talk shit on each other all the time. Yeah, they fuck with each other. Oh, I'm gonna pick up the ball before you kick it. All that bullshit. But he has his family that we very rarely see. But then he has his family amongst his friends. Like, if you are a person out there and like you don't have friends you consider family, then your life is like not going the best. But Charlie Brown has that in spades. Like let's be real.
Way to just make people feel really terrible about their life.
But before we start insulting people, I think that I'm voting for Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown all day.
Yeah.
Okay.
The insanity needs to stop.
Whatever.
I think
we're ignoring
Smokey
reason,
Bear
but that's fine.
Below.
We're locking Smokey Bear in at 5.
I think we lock in Charlie at 4.
I would say we lock Charlie.
That's
at
pretty
4.
fair. Yeah.
Because we after that we're left with what? Olaf,
SpongeBob, Ronald McDonald, and Olaf.
I think they are probably the top. I would say Olaf's probably next as well. After you'd be number 3. Olaf be number 3, and Charlie at 4. And I know that we're talking about Charlie Brown. It's like the Thanksgiving special. He hits all the pillars. Maybe he doesn't eat enough to go into a coma, but neither does Olaf. And then here's the thing, right? Is because they're pretty close on every other pillar. Am I wrong? They're pretty close. Obviously, one is a Thanksgiving icon, which is pretty big. But as far as the pillars go, they're pretty close in all of the other 3 pillars. However, on top of that, Olaf is the more fun to watch version of those pillars for families, you know? You're singing, having a great time, or you're watching a kid mope around.
Yeah, I mean, that's subjective, but I agree.
I feel that's a pretty common thought.
From modern day standards, yes, I would say Olaf is better for the modern family because he's a more modern character.
I mean, yeah. I mean, how would you decide otherwise? Because I think they're pretty close.
My argument about Charlie Brown being mopey didn't carry any weight in the previous argument, so
That's because it was compared to Smokey, who is
who saves lives, who sings songs with children.
but then he hasn't even been that effective in that role.
He gets kids in the woods, they sing songs together about preventing forest fires. So it's a whole thing.
Yeah, but how many kids are out there singing songs to Smokey the Bear, and how many are tuning into Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving?
And how many of them are singing Frozen songs?
Those are 2 so totally different stratospheres.
I'm aware. And
you'll get 10 kids in the woods.
So we don't need to touch on it again.
Yeah.
Even though
Charlie
the thing
Brown
about
gets
him having
millions.
a Thanksgiving special does not hold
that
any
argument
weight,
again. Looking at the other 3 ahead of Charlie Brown, who is looking forward to watching Charlie Brown? Some people, obviously. Thanksgiving special. But then who is how many people are ready to sing Frozen, talk about Frozen, watch Frozen, or watch SpongeBob? Literally,
again, I think you're kind of missing the point of.
Here's my thing. No. Okay, I get that. But they all do the pillars extremely well. That's what my point is. There's not a lot left to divulge. Especially between Olaf and Charlie Brown, I think they both do the 3 pillars extremely well. The thanks, the giving, the family time. Very well. The eating so much food, they're both okay at. They just don't go into a coma. But that's, whatever. I think the next 2 excel at it much more, which is why they're the top 2, SpongeBob and Ronald. Other than that, I think it's really, close. So I don't really know how else we're going to decide other than, starting to get a little subjective here between the 2.
I guess that's fair. I would just say I liked the argument for Olaf earlier on about how his character is more of the embodiment of the spirit of Thanksgiving in the sense that he is always giving out hugs and people are thankful for his presence and everything, whereas Charlie Brown is literally just a big-headed fucking kid who just mopes around.
One's positive, one's a little
Charlie
bit
Brown
more
as
negative.
A character does not fulfill the Thanksgiving spirit anywhere near the amount that Olaf does.
I feel that.
Oh, I hard agree. Yeah,
I'd agree with that. I'm over here coming up with all these subjective things to try to compare them and make Olaf
just
better.
Compare them by personality traits.
Yeah, literally just compare them like that. So. We got it. So, all right, cool. Olaf number 3.
Yes. Now SpongeBob. We have not talked about SpongeBob at all yet.
Or Ronald, really.
Or Ronald. Ronald has to be 1. I can't see an argument where SpongeBob would be able to be. Ronald literally checks every box to a T. Right? Thanks. Kids are always thanking their parents for going to McDonald's. Kids love eating at McDonald's for some fucking reason.
Especially on the drive home from something.
Exactly. Given. Parents are giving their kids McDonald's. McDonald's is giving us gross food that kids love. And they also have a whole charity thing set up where they give stuff out also. There's a lot of giving happening there.
Real quick,
Ronald McDonald gives me nightmares because he's a clown and I hate it. Brennan,
before you go any further, also McDonald's employs millions and millions of Americans. So,
yes, exactly.
They're also giving people salaries, even though some of them are a little lacking. But
yes,
it's true.
At the same
time,
families come together.
Families come together to eat McDonald's is pretty obvious. Eating so much food you go into a coma. It's McDonald's.
Obviously,
it's America. That's why it exists.
That's fair. That is fair. I think this is definitely the winner of the eating so much food one specifically. Like,
yes.
The other one's extremely high as well.
Smokey Bear was technically the winner of it, but since he failed other categories as much, then this is very close.
But I feel
Smokey the Bear doesn't lead to like so much diabetes like McDonald's does.
But he literally eats food to go into a coma. He's locked in though. I'm not gonna go back to that.
But here's the thing, right?
So much food
Smokey
to go to a coma
Bear
is
one bear
by McDonald's
that eats the. Well, okay, actually, here's something we should talk about. This is the Ronald McDonald balloon, not the McDonald's balloon.
Right, but Ronald McDonald represents McDonald's. He's their mascot. He does.
And Smokey Bear represents forestry. Like, but we're not here to talk about forestry. We're here to talk about the character.
I mean, we kind of brought that up in his other things. I mean, do we really want to like dig into the deep lore of like the McDonald's verse where he's like hanging out with Mayor McCheese and shit? Do we really want to go down that rabbit hole?
What about Hamburglar? I mean, I'd rather not, because like...
I'd rather not.
Because that's...
I don't want to have to catch up on that shit to be able to rank him.
Yeah, I think he has to be number one. As much as I want it to be SpongeBob, because I think SpongeBob is like a better character.
Is he, though?
Oh, we'll do without a doubt.
He is. Don't even try to sell me that he's not a better character than Ronald McDonald. Ronald McDonald's terrifying.
Look at the sheer pop culture influence SpongeBob has had. Like I hear SpongeBob quoted every day.
Again, not relevant to this argument, but
totally.
Okay,
right.
so here's something earlier we were
like,
talking about how Thomas the Tank
Family
Engine was
Time.
a sentimental thing for you, Brennan. Like for me, I like my entire childhood. Spending time with my family was sitting down and watching SpongeBob. Me and my dad, and eventually my brother when he showed up, was that, I mean, born. Not like he was like gone.
When he showed up,
I don't want to assume. He's just like, I'm here, dog. I'm like, dude, what's up? But that was like some of the greatest moments of my childhood, was like having that family time to spend with like spending time with my family watching SpongeBob, to the point where for my dad's birthday, we got him a leaf blower and like wrote reef blower on it, a SpongeBob thing that we used to like watch together. And it's like, it still comes up to this day. It like transcends time. And I get that's McDonald's also does this, you know, McDonald's is always around. It's on every freaking corner. You never forget that it's there. It's always there to give you food. It's always there, and you're always thankful that it's there because you need something. It's always just the one thing that's like there when you need food the most on a road trip too. Like it's never like something that you really want, like a Chipotle or something, or like Moe's or whatever. It's always McDonald's that's there, and that's why you're most thankful, because like I guess I'll have a Big Mac or something. So I guess you're thankful for that, you know. But I just, man, I don't know.
I don't know. Like where I was going at with the pop culture thing before it cut off.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Whenever you watch SpongeBob, you realize that like in his own universe, everyone in there is thankful for him, because in multiple episodes, when they make him so sad that he like disappears or, you know, has to go away for a while, everyone else in the show realizes that they're fucked. Especially Mr. Krabs and Squidward at the Krusty Krab, because, you know, like the one episode where, you know, he forgot to put pickles on the sandwich. It's like, oh, well, SpongeBob's forgotten how to make Krabby Patties, and now the business is totally suffering, and we're about to go bankrupt. Like that, like those kinds of things happen throughout the series, and then you have all these little kids that watch SpongeBob, myself included, back in the day, that were very thankful that a show like this existed, because A, it was hilarious, and B, the amount of like stuff that they put in there actually expands your vocabulary and even expands like your thought process, because it's like they're putting all of this stuff into a kid show that even like adults get into. Like all like watching SpongeBob now, like I hear all the references that I totally went over my head as a kid. Like right. So family time right there. Thankful. Everyone in the show is happy that he's around, even though half the time they hate him. And then giving, the dude gives like all the time. Like there's plenty of charitable contributions SpongeBob makes in the show. And of course, like I can't even fucking
You know, I see what you're saying.
Words.
I kind of feel what you're saying. You know what? You also made me think of something. There are multiple instances where SpongeBob like is able to make up a bunch of freaking Krabby Patties, similar to McDonald's, in the fact that how good it is that like that one fills that pillar. He makes a ton of Krabby Patties. There's multiple scenes where people eat so much that they like fucking fill up and like go into a coma. This happens multiple times in the show. So he immediately like fills that category extremely well too.
Yeah, but not as I would say Ronald still wins this overall.
That pillar, sure. Slightly.
Here's the thing.
Because like in real life,
that
yes.
pillar, yeah, but
because I would say like while all of these things are very true, and that's why SpongeBob has made it this far, his accomplishments are in like the fictional world only for the most part,
That's
right?
not true though.
Right, but we just said that like he gives all the stuff, and then like the food coma stuff happens to like the fictional.
In the fictional, yes,
people.
that one, yes. But like every other pillar is like an implication in the show, like his character, on top of being like able to do that to people in the real world as well.
Right,
like, they're able. Like we are thankful for it. We're thankful for like being able to watch the show because it's a good show.
But
okay,
Ronald McDonald, I assume, probably. Had a lot of those traits in his fictional universe in his multiple iterations of shows. But also, there is literally a thing called Ronald McDonald House Charities in real life. He has a real life charity named after him. He can't be topped in the giving category.
That is true. Yeah.
Here is one final argument I'd like to make for SpongeBob. And it's actually an argument against Ronald McDonald. Do you know how many people get fucking furious at McDonald's? Like how like as much as it does, it's great. You know, like what it does is great. The charities, the putting people in a coma, I guess is great. Diabetes, woo. But I also, people constantly complain about McDonald's, like this restaurant, Ronald McDonald. It also tears people apart a lot of times. I have been at McDonald's myself where I've waited 43 minutes for a fucking pie. I'm shoulder to shoulder. People were all screaming at the employees.
Yeah, but that's the employee's fault, not Ronald's fault.
But it's also a part of the McDonald's as a whole. And if we were talking about Ronald McDonald being a synonymous with McDonald's, then we also have to tie it to its employees, because if like it's like all tied together, we have to take in all things into account, right? Wouldn't we? It also, as much as it brings people together, it also tears them apart. Because I think
you're really reaching
so many McDonald's have like broken ice cream machines and ruin people's day. They have fucking lines out the wazoo that take forever. They can't get food I know a lot of people in college, especially, they go to McDonald's to get lunch like between classes, and because of how long they had to wait, because of how bad the service was, or there was some issue, they couldn't eat that day. They couldn't eat lunch that day. Does McDonald's cause you to go without food? Or not McDonald's. Fucking SpongeBob? I got cut off of McDonald's. SpongeBob cause you to go without food? No, he doesn't. I'm just saying.
People are also not thankful that SpongeBob has episodes now that aren't good, and that there's the Patrick Star Show or whatever. So, like, if you want to spin it at that angle, technically there are some things that people are not thankful for SpongeBob as well.
Is it as intense as not getting food?
I don't know, because I'm not part of the fandom. The internet seems pretty pissed about it.
That like weird like Camp Coral show isn't actually that bad. I've seen it now, but
I don't know. I feel like since Ronald McDonald accomplishes the aspects in the fictional and real world, that should give him the edge. But that's just my opinion.
I think that it's the opposite. I think SpongeBob does it better at accomplishing both. Obviously not the food one, but I think the other ones he does better both of than Ronald does. So that's why I would give SpongeBob the edge.
I guess I'm the tiebreaker here.
Damn. Down to it. Yet again.
I think, obviously, in the fictional world, SpongeBob dominates. Because like you think of like the family time, like, you know, a lot of people tune in to watch especially old episodes. The newer ones, not so much, but you know, the fact that me as an adult, I can sit there, watch and enjoy SpongeBob just as much as a kid, you know, that's pretty awesome. So it brings families together. Obviously, people in his universe love SpongeBob, and he's always giving to people in his universe. He doesn't really feel the eating so much food you go into a coma, but other people kind of do that synonymously through him, since he's always making Krabby Patties and such. But where Ronald McDonald has the edge, the fact that millions of Americans in the real world are actually employed by McDonald's, the fact that there is the Ronald McDonald House charity, all right, that, you know, I always see the little the thing you could toss coins in right outside every single drive-through window. Whether people actually throw shit in there or not, that's up to them. But the fact that Ronald McDonald has his name on an actual charitable, donation is far exceeds anything that SpongeBob could do giving wise. And then of course you get Super Size Me and people actually eating themselves into comas. My hands are tied, man. I got to give it to Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, it's not the fun answer, but it's the correct answer.
I don't know.
I mean, based on the criteria, Ronald McDonald just takes it, bro. Like it, because SpongeBob is the better character, no questions asked. But Ronald McDonald stands for things that actually matter, like in the real world, that I feel like pretty much none of, except Smokey Bear maybe, but like none of the other characters actually fulfill. Even Smokey the Bear gets fucking dominated by Ronald.
Yes.
I hate how much Smokey has come up into conversation. I was really hoping he was going to be
because he's way more relevant than you think he should be.
And the only reason I say that is because he's actively warning people about forest fires,
right?
Which actually bears some relevance in the real world.
Bears some relevance.
But
I don't know. If I'm being honest with you, I came into this thinking Ronald was like the clear number one, and over time through us talking, I began to be sold on the SpongeBob idea of him being number one. To the point where I do still think overall he edges him out, but I am outvoted, and I don't think that. And I think Ronald McDonald's is a pretty good option. He obviously does. They both do everything extremely well. It's just it comes down to like the nitty gritty here, and I've been outvoted, so Ronald it is.
Hooray! We've done it. We made it to the end.
Did it.
Through a lot of violence and carnage, we've made it to the end. We're different people now at the other end of this ranking.
A lot of shit has been
wrought.
And
I think we learned a lot about all of these characters and about each other and about the spirit of Thanksgiving itself. So go us for learning and growing as people.
We really have. This episode, I feel like I'm a new man.
Yeah, we deserve a Macy's Thanksgiving Day balloon after this. Yep. I like to think. But that'll never happen. So anyway, here's the recap. Number 10 is Boss Baby. Number 9 is Goku. Number 8 is Thomas the Tank Engine. Number 7 is Papa Smurf. Number 6 is Sonic the Hedgehog. Number 5 is Smokey Bear. Number 4 is Charlie Brown and his kite. Number 3 is Olaf. Number 2 is Spongebob Squarepants. And number 1 is the King of America, Ronald McDonald himself. And that does it.
2015, baby. Ooh, wow.
Yeah. 2015, good year for balloons, apparently.
Apparently. We did it.
We made it.
Hooray. That was exhausting.
That took a lot out of me.
Much like last year's Thanksgiving special, this one surprised me in how exhausting it was.
Yes, last year's was fun. This year's was mentally taxing.
Fair, yeah.
And next year's will probably be even worse. Yeah. So if you want to, if you want to be notified when that comes out 1 year from now, make sure you hit the subscribe button and refuse to unsubscribe for any reason until that video comes out. That would be cool. We're steadily making our way to 420 subscribers to hit the doobie number. Blaze it, dogs. Also, make sure you like this video if you liked it. I didn't, but maybe you did. And you can show us that physically by going down and clicking that like button. And go down there and leave a comment. Let us know what you think is the appropriate order for ranking these balloons. Do you think that Smokey Bear deserved to be higher in the list? I know I do. Do you think that Boss Baby should have been number 1? Let us know in the comments below. If all you Boss Baby stands out there, I know you're real. It was nominated for an Oscar. Apparently you exist.
Your life's not going too well.
But yeah, that's it. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hope you have a good one, full of gravy and nothing else.
Just gravy.
Yep, just gravy.
And gravy and Ronald McDonald, the champions of Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Skip the Thanksgiving dinner. Go to the McDonald's drive-thru to celebrate the true embodiment of Thanksgiving. Ronald McDonald.
Make sure you bring your gravy boat with you.
What's
You're
this
going to need it.
Fucking dip your McNuggets in gravy and have a grand old time. Yes,
Thanksgiving, baby.
In the spirit of Thanksgiving, thank you for all of your support to the Talks a Lot Boys channel. This year, we have had a lot of growth and a lot of good times, all spurred on by you viewers and listeners at home. So thank you so much. Kyle and Brennan, any final words, things you're thankful for that you want to bestow upon the world before we close out for today? Nope, okay. We have been the Talks a Lot Boys, and we'll talk a whole lot more next time. Goodbye!
Happy Thanksgiving,
all right.
folks.
Happy